Hello everyone and welcome to the first video on my Microsoft Office tutorials channel, where today we will be starting Word, specifically Word 365, although any other version of Word is really similar, and anything you learn in this video and other videos can be applied to other previous versions of Microsoft. This is the first part of Word, which will be about basics and introduction as well as text formatting. So the first thing with any application is starting up a new project, and with Word and all Microsoft applications, this is extremely simple. Just go to the search bar on your laptop or desktop, type in Word, open up the first application, and you get this screen. Now, there are three ways you can start or you can open up a document. The first one is this already highlighted option, blank document. It's exactly what it says. It opens up a blank white document that you can edit to your heart's desire. You can start from scratch and make whatever you want. The second option is all of these next to it. These are templates. If you want more templates, you can just click this button and it brings you to this page. Templates are pre-installed, templates, and their Word comes with many different kinds for many different purposes. For example, you have resumes, you have cover letters, calendars, essays, flyers, brochures, business cards, really anything you might think you want to do with Word, there's more than likely a template for it already if you don't want to start from scratch. The third option is, if you go back to the home, is the recents. So if you're not starting a new document and you're opening up a previous one that you already had and you want to continue editing it, then you can go to your recents, and these are ordered by, as you might guess, how recent they are. The most recent ones being the ones at the top. You can click on it, it'll open it up on your desktop, and you can continue editing from there. So for this video, we're just going to start a blank document. And when you open up any document, any Word document, there are a couple different things you might want to take note on the screen. The first is the most obvious, and as you would expect, your document. This is where you can preview everything that you've done. The second is this bottom bar. This just has a few basic things, information, page, and word count, as well as a zoom slider and different layouts if you want to look at your document in a different way. What's probably more important is what's up here. This is called the ribbon, and this is where all the magic happens. There is a lot of stuff that the ribbon offers, a lot more than meets the eye. The ribbon is split into tabs at the top. You can see home, insert, design, etc. These are general classifications. Home is most of the general stuff that you'll find yourself using most of the time, basic formatting, style, etc. Insert is, as the title would suggest, where you go to insert things. If you want to insert a picture, a text box, a shape, a new page, you'll find it here. Design changes the layout of the paper. If you want to change the theme, change the color style, things like that. The rest of the tabs all have their own purposes and their own applications, but you'll find that the further along, the less common you'll use them, but we'll go over them in future videos. Each tab is split up into groups. You can see each group is separated by these thin gray lines, and each group is a further subclassification. Clipboard, that's your computer clipboard, so copy and paste. If you want to change things with the font, change things with word groups, things like that. And some groups also have a pull-out tab. You can see that the ones that do have this little button in the corner, if you click on it, it'll bring you even more options in that group. for even more specific things that you might want to edit that are not as common but still prevalent. Another feature that Word has is up here. This is called the Quick Access Toolbar, and it is, as the name suggests, a place where you can have all your most common tools that you would want. This is the default one, which comes with Word 365. It has the autosave, save, redo, undo, as well as this, which is the customization tab. If you click on it, you can see a few options that you could quickly add if you want to customize your quick access toolbar. If you want to customize it even further, you can click this button, more commands, and it will pop up this page. And these are all the different features that Word has that you can put on your quick access toolbar. These are the ones that are already on there. If you want to add something, let's say quick print, that might be something a lot of people want access to. Click on it, click add, and if you click OK, you'll see it shows up in your quick access toolbar. The other thing that's really useful up here is the search bar. So the ribbon is jam-packed with a lot of stuff. There are a lot of things in every tab, and sometimes can be quite confusing and quite hard to find something. So Microsoft has a search bar where you can quickly find something. For example, if you wanted to insert a hyperlink, click hyperlink, and it'll generally show up as the first one if you type it in correctly. Now we can start actually editing the document and inserting words and pictures and other things. For this example, let's say we wanted to create an MLA styled essay. If you don't know, an MLA styled essay has a heading that contains your name, your teacher's name, the class name, the date, and a title. Then you have your introductory paragraph. Another thing about MLA essays is that the text is always in Times New Roman font, a 12-point size font, and is a double spaced. All this is things you can change in Word. To edit all the text in the page, you can simply left click and highlight everything, or a keyboard shortcut is to press Control A, and that'll highlight everything there is to highlight. If you come up to the font group in your home tab, you click the drop down box or the large box, and all the fonts offered in Microsoft Word are in alphabetical order, making it easy to find the one that you want. Scroll all the way down, and Times New Roman, there it is. Box next to it is for the font size, click 12, and now you have set all your text to the correct font. This is all something I'm pretty sure all of you know, but Word has its own built-in dictionary, and whenever you type in a word, for example, when I tried to type in introductionary, if it's not a word that Word recognizes in its dictionary, it'll highlight it in red. And if you right-click on any word that's underlined in red, it'll offer suggestions on what it thinks you want to type. In this case, it was correct, and it knew that I wanted to type in introductionary. A blue underline is similar. It just means it just means that the word is correct. It's just that the way it's used or the grammar might be improper use. Here's a quick tip. The styles section, this might be something that you use a lot or you don't use at all, but Word offers several styles that have their own font, their own size, text, formatting, things like that. The normal one is set to Calibri and it's set to 11-point font, but a lot of people, they tend to use Times New Roman 12-point. So what you can do is you can right click on it and you can modify any pre-existing styles, or if you want, you can click the drop down box and you can create your own style. I prefer modifying this. When you do, it brings up this box, which looks confusing, but it's really not. You can change the name, you can change the paragraph styling. All you really need to do is click
this and set it to the Times New Roman, as well as set it to 12. And down here, make sure to click New Documents based on this template. That way, anytime you open up a new document, it'll automatically be set to Times New Roman 12-point font. Now, in terms of formatting the paragraph, if you don't know, MLA essays have their title centered instead of on the left-hand side. If you right-click on a highlighted object, it'll show you some quick basic things, copy and paste, as well as basic formatting. If you click paragraph, you can click alignment and centered. Click OK. Or, much simpler, you can just go to the paragraph group and click center alignment, or whichever alignment you want. Another thing about MLA style is that all paragraphs are indented once. If you don't know how to indent, simply click at the beginning of a paragraph, click Tab on your keyboard, and it'll indent the first line. Another function that you can do with text in Microsoft Word is create lists. So for this example, let's say you wanted to make a recipe, and that recipe was a cake. Well, first thing you need in a recipe is the ingredients. So for a cake, ingredients you might need are, for example, milk, water, butter, eggs, flour, baking soda, what else will say, cocoa powder, and other stuff. Now, this is technically in the format of a list, but if you wanted to make it better, you can highlight what you want to turn into a list, and the paragraph group, the first option is a bullet list. This is the first type of list offered in Microsoft Word, and if you'll see, it creates, as it says, a bullet list. Additionally, now if you click at the end of the list or anywhere else in the list and you click enter, it makes another selection in the list that you can add in the middle or at the end. So more stuff. If you go to the end of a list and you click enter once, as you expect, it'll create a new item in the list. If you click enter a second time, it exits you out of the list and it'll return you to the normal paragraph writing. The other type of list you can create in Microsoft Word is a numbered list. So the second part of a recipe is the procedure, steps. First step in baking a cake might be something like combine all wet ingredients into a bowl. As you can see, I misspelled that. Right click, and you can fix it with the word dictionary. Second step, combine all dry ingredients into another bowl. And then mix both the bowls, and then insert into oven for 30 minutes. Again, this is technically in the format of a list, but if you want to make it look nicer, you can highlight what you want to turn into a list. And the second option in the paragraph group is numbering. If you click it, it'll create a numbered list. Now you can click in between them and click enter twice, and that separates them. And now you have an example of a bulleted list, an example of a numbered list. So that concludes the first video on Microsoft Word on the basic introductions as well as text formatting. I hope you learned something new. If not, stay tuned for future videos. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll get to them. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, consider subscribing to stay tuned for future videos.